It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Cruz.
We've got a great edition of America Outdoors Radio for you this week, and we're going to start it off by sharing a little bit of love. We're going to do a giveaway. As you may recall, we talked to Buzz Ramsey a couple of weeks ago from Yakima Bait Company. They're based in Washington State, and they make the iconic rooster tail spinner that's been catching trout for years all over the world. Well, they actually sent me about a dozen of those rooster tail spinners after the interview we did with them. They also sent me half a dozen mag lip lures. These are some very coveted plugs. They catch salmon and steelhead in the northwestern U.S., but they also catch big trout in places like the Great Lakes, and they'll catch walleye too. They are some great lures. On top of that, they even gave me a snazzy hat. Well, you know what? We are going to give away half a dozen of those spinners, 3 of those plugs, and I'll even give up that snazzy hat. And we're going to give it all away to one lucky listener. Here's how you enter for your chance to win. Simply go to our Facebook page at America Outdoors Radio, like our page, look for the post, and just tell us what state you're from. You can do the same thing through our website. That's at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. Simply go to our Contact Us page. Let us know that you want to win the tackle from Yakima Bait Company. And again, just let us know what state you're listening from. One lucky person's going to win. Again, the Facebook page is America Outdoors Radio. The website is AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. Just like our page and let us know what state you're tuning in from for a chance to win this prize package. This week on the show, we're taking you to one of the better places you'll ever visit in these United States if you're looking for a fall cast and blast. What are we talking about here? Well, on the hunting side, how about turkey or bear or white-tailed deer? That'll go along with trout, walleye, and maybe even sturgeon that you can catch and keep. You'll find it all in the northeast corner of Washington State, and Andy Hydorn, the owner of Benny's Colville Inn, will tell you more about it. After that, we are going to explore the dream I know some of you have out there about wanting to own your very own fishing or hunting lodge or B&B in Alaska. That dream is not as out of reach as you may think. Gene Fitzgerald is an Anchorage-based real estate agent who has got some great information to help you make your dreams come true in the last frontier. We'll head south from Alaska to Tacoma, Washington after that, where Aristotle Bartolome with Rainier Arms will tell you about a big event taking place from July 27th through the 30th for members of the media, the firearms industry, and the public. It's called TriggrCon, and if you're into the tactical small arms scene, this is going to be a can't-miss event. We'll shift our attention to conservation in our final show segment and let you know about 3 national monuments that look like they have survived any cuts after a review by the Department of Interior ordered by President Donald Trump. We'll also talk to 2 modern-day adventurers, David and Amy Freeman, who spent a full year living in Minnesota's Boundary Waters Canoe Wilderness area in a tent and have written a book about the experience. Dave and Amy will join us to tell you why they did this later in the broadcast. But before we go to Minnesota, we are heading to the pine forests of Northeast Washington to talk about some hunting and some fishing too. Next on America Outdoors Radio, we are taking you to Benny's Colville Inn in Colville because this is the perfect place for a fall hunting and fishing cast and blast. With us here to tell you more is the manager of Benny's Colville Inn, Andy Hydorn. Andy, great to have you back on the show.
Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate it.
So, Andy, for our listeners who didn't get to hear when we talked last fall, let's tell them now about why they need to be planning for a great cast and blast, especially during the early fall. And we'll start off with the hunting, because there's a lot of hunters that come your way for probably some of the best hunting to be found in the Northwest. What are they after?
Well, in the fall, they're after the whitetail, bear, elk. The early archery seasons are real popular around here.
And I'm guessing that early fall turkey season is popular too, because the section of the state you live in is arguably one of the top places to bag a gobbler in the entire northwestern United States. And in some portions not far from you, you can actually get 2 turkeys a day between September 23rd and October 31st.
That is correct. There is a lot of turkeys in our area. Of course, with some of the stats that we see, majority of the birds are harvested in our area, and we're kind of spoiled as locals. We'll drive down the road and we'll see 100 turkeys out in the evening, and we're thinking, sure, there's a lot of birds, but anybody who comes to our area and they drive down the road and they see that, it gives them hope. It gives them a thought, oh yeah, there's lots of birds. I can get one harvested.
Well, there's also lots of whitetail deer. There's also lots of black bear. Again, I know for a fact in Washington State, you probably have the highest density of all 3 species when it comes to being able to hunt them. So, folks, hunting, great reason to come to Colville, Washington. But you've got some fishing, too, and you get a lot of anglers that come to your place in the fall, don't you?
We do. We get a lot of anglers that come and stay with us. A lot of folks are coming up just for some of the local lakes, the trout fishing, some of the brook trout, rainbow trout, early fall, early mid-fall, great fly fishing lakes. But one thing we might talk about, John, is the new opening of the sturgeon fishing down in Roosevelt Lake.
Oh, that's a big thing to talk about. And folks, Lake Roosevelt, if you're not aware, it's a 100-plus mile impoundment of the Columbia River above Grand Coulee Dam in northeastern Washington. And sturgeon fishing is popular here in the Northwest, but by and large, you have to let the sturgeon go with just a few exceptions. But this year, they opened up catch and keep sturgeon fishing on Lake Roosevelt. That's a big deal, and these are some hard-fighting, great-tasting fish, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Along the lake, there's different areas that have different size limits. However, up in our area, we're getting a lot of anglers. There's a little bit cooler water, a little bit faster water as you go north as well, and we're getting some great action on the pole.
So here's a question you may or may not know, just listening to your customers. In different parts of river systems, for example, on the Snake River, I know trout is a popular offering for bass. On the Columbia River, people are giving them herring or smelt or shad. What are they giving them in Lake Roosevelt that's getting them to bite?
I understand it's about the same thing, kind of a smelt herring type bait. All the local gas stations and sporting goods stores are carrying it or trying to carry the bait. It's been so popular that a lot of folks are selling out, but they'll have it the next day because they're on top of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you haven't convinced folks to come up and fish yet, I don't know what else we need to do so, except maybe to tell them about Benny's Colville Inn. You've got a really nice property there, don't you?
We do. We have a pretty large property, and I'm actually 3rd generation in the business, so the business has been around a long time. And, of course, in the fall and even summer, catering to the fishermen and the hunters. But we have 106 rooms here at our property, open 24 hours a day, so if folks are rolling in way late at night, early in the morning, we can get them accommodated. We do have a breakfast that actually starts at 5 a.m. It's a kind of an early breakfast, goes till 10, to kind of cater to those folks who get up early, maybe go hunting or fishing.
There you go, folks. As you can see, Colville is a great place to go this fall for a cast and blast vacation. Whether you're after turkey or whitetail deer or black bear, or if you want to go fishing for trout or tangle with a big sturgeon that you can actually take home to eat, Benny's Colville Inn is the place to make your base camp. The website's really simple. It's colvilleinn.com. Colville is spelled C-O-L-V-I-L-L-E. That's colvilleinn.com. Check it out. Book now because those rooms are going to fill up and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity. Andy, thanks for telling us about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you, John.
The Caddis Game Changer breathable waders are going to change the way you fish. You've always counted on Caddis waders to keep you warm and dry through the years, and Caddis never lets you down. Now comes the Game Changer. It's the same tough durability and the addition of a zippered hard pouch pocket that opens up to become a work shelf. Now you can change accessories on the water for maximum flexibility. Look for Caddis Game Changer breathable waders wherever quality fishing products are sold or online at caddiswaders.com.
Luth AR is the home of the Modular Buttstock Assembly, or MBA for short. Not only do we make modular buttstocks for your AR-15 rifle, we'll help you choose the MBA that's right for you. We also offer parts and accessories to customize your AR. If you're looking for a quality MBA that weighs less and costs less, the Luth AR MBA is for you. Find out more at luth-ar.com. That's luth-ar.com.
Have you wondered where to get your bolt carrier groups and barrels for the AR-15? Maybe you're looking for a quality 9mm bolt carrier. Spinta Precision is your source. Whether you're plinking, target shooting, or running a 3-gun match, Spinta Precision has what you need. Every product is American-made by Patriots for Patriots. Visit us at spintaprecision.com. That's spintaprecision.com for top quality bolt carriers and barrels.
Master Marine in Mount Vernon, Washington specializes in fishing and fun. We offer 7 brands of boats, including Osprey, Sea Sport, Sea Dory, Tomcat, Lunt, Weldcraft, and Thunderjet. We also offer Suzuki, Yamaha, and Mercury motors. In other words, no matter what you're fishing for, we've got the boat for you. Drop by Master Marine at 330 East Blackburn Road in Mount Vernon to see what's on the lot, or go online to mastermarine.com. That's mastermarine.com.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever dreamed of owning your very own lodge or a bed and breakfast in Alaska, a place that's going to attract hunters and anglers to your location? And hey, when you've got some time off, maybe you're hunting and fishing too? Well, we've got just the man to tell you how to do it. His name is Gene Fitzgerald. He's with Jack White Real Estate out of Anchorage, Alaska, and he sells places like this. Gene, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, John.
So, Gene, first things first, the real estate market in a lot of parts of the U.S., especially in the Northwest, is just booming. As a matter of fact, in places like Seattle and Portland and in many parts of Northern California, homes have become really unaffordable. How are real estate prices in Alaska? Is it still possible to have this dream and buy a place up there and make a living?
Oh, absolutely. Alaska is actually, the housing market here in Alaska is flat currently because of the oil prices. I mean, we're based on oil production, and because the oil prices are so low, everything is just kind of stable right now. When lower 48 had the big dip, we didn't see that, but now we're just staying stable while they're increasing quite a bit.
Gene, I'm guessing there's a lot of folks that contact you about, I've always wanted to buy a place in Alaska and operate a lodge or a B&B, but I only have X amount of money. Are there some places that are a little bit more affordable to get into than others that still offer great locations for fishing and hunting?
Oh, absolutely. It all depends on what you want to do. Do you want to do a bed and breakfast? Do you want to do a guide service? A lot of them, the majority of them are off the grid. So you have to consider, getting there by boat, by airplane. But yeah, there's a lot of affordable properties out there.
Let's go ahead and talk about this in some more detail in terms of giving a person advice, because I'm sure you've just had starry-eyed couples or even singles that have said, this is my dream, help me do it. And you probably say, whoa, hold on, let's talk this through. What's some advice you give them? What are some of the questions you do as a pre-interview to help them realize their dream?
You have to, kind of talk some reality into some people. They just think, hey, I'll come up there, bring a suitcase, and I'll figure out a place to live. Well, sometimes that doesn't work out. You know, they get back in those remote areas, think they've got enough supplies, and then we end up having to send an airplane in. Or, you know, there's one story of one guy that tried paddling his way out of there because he ran out of food and everything. So you really have to consider the logistics of things before you make that jump.
I can't let that one go, Gene. How did that story work out for the guy that tried to paddle out for some groceries?
Well, they ended up, an airplane happened to be flying over the top and seen him in his boat, and he'd been in there for 3 days, and he swooped down and landed in the river and got him on the plane and took him out of there.
Wow.
He was in pretty rough shape.
So the remoteness obviously is an issue. Another issue, I don't know if people really take this into account, the cost of living up there in terms of, you know, groceries and things like that, a lot more expensive than in the lower 48, isn't it?
There are places here in Anchorage, on the Kenai Peninsula, you don't see it much. But when you get up into some of the remote areas, absolutely. You just don't, there's no way to get groceries to you. I mean, you have to fly them in.
And let's talk about that first winter in Alaska. I'm guessing that can be a real deal breaker for some new arrivals to the state.
A lot of it depends on where you're at. You know, if you're further south, it's not too bad. The further north you get, if you get up around Valdez, I mean, 2 years ago, Valdez had 48 feet of snow.
That is amazing. And let's talk about the average temperature around Anchorage. What does that look like in the winter, and how much daylight do you have? That's the thing that really, I think, gets a lot of people.
In the winter, in Anchorage, it's not too bad. I mean, you're talking average temperature is 20 degrees. Sometimes it dips down around zero. Sometimes it gets down to negative 20. When you get into the interior Fairbanks area, you're talking negative 60 degrees. So, you know, you really have to take that in consideration. I mean, daylight, you're looking at about 4 hours of daylight during the day.
But then we turn our attention to the reason why most folks want to come up, and that is the glorious summer months that you have up there, where it can be daytime pretty much all day and all night long, and the fishing and the hunting can be absolutely fantastic. And I guess that's why people continue to have this dream, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my son just flew up from Idaho on the 13th, and I put him on a boat. We went out on a boat on the 14th and cruised out to a lodge, caught a bunch of halibut, some lean cod, some silver salmon, spent the night there in the lodge, and then fished all day the next day and came back in. Now we're back into Anchorage, and Dad and my uncle flew in last night, so we're getting ready to, truck's all loaded. As soon as I get done with this interview, we're headed back out to go do some more fishing.
I love it. Couple things before we go. Let's talk about maybe a couple of the listings you have for bed and breakfast or lodges that are there, and how affordable they might be.
Well, there's a lot of different lodges, depending on where you want to be, whether you want to be on the Kenai River or you want to be back on some remote lot or remote island somewhere. A lot of it depends on how accessible you want it. I mean, you want to do a tourist thing that, typically lodges and things of that nature are seasonal. You're looking at probably from May to August for operation times. So you really need to take into consideration, you have to be able to make the money during that time. So people have to be able to get to you. So you have to be cautious of that. But yeah, it's there's anywhere from $500,000 to over $1 million something. You can pick and choose whatever you like.
Well, there you go, folks. The American dream is still alive and well in Alaska, especially if you're a hunter or an angler and you want to turn that passion into a living to share with others. Let's give folks a website so they can find out more about listings you have, Gene, and maybe start making that dream for some of our listeners come true.
Excellent. Yeah, just go to www.genefitzgeraldhomes.com, and on there you can search anywhere in the state of Alaska.
The website again, Gene with a G, FitzgeraldHomes.com. That's GeneFitzgeraldHomes.com. Gene's with Jack White Real Estate. They've got offices all over Alaska, but go to Gene's website at GeneFitzgeraldHomes.com. Take a look at his listings. He will be happy to help you find the place you're looking for in the last frontier. Gene, thanks for sharing this with us on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you, John.
Hi, I'm Craig Boddington. I've written about hunting for 40 years, much of it in bear country. I trust my life to bear spray because the research is in. It stopped bears 92% of the time and prevented injury 98% of the time. Bear spray requires less accuracy and won't harm your companions or the bear. Carry bear spray in bear country. Keep it accessible and practice.
We at DIP Inc. manufacture high-quality, useful products for your modern rimfire needs. We specialize in quality aluminum parts. Replace your junky plastic parts with our special custom-made in the USA products. Visit us at DIP Inc. for all your rimfire needs. Find out more at diproductsinc.com. That's diproductsinc.com. Your rimfire specialists.
TriggrCon is the annual trade show just for the small arms tactical market. It's coming to the Convention Center in Tacoma, Washington from July 29th through the 30th. It's going to showcase the newest, the most innovative, and the best products in the tactical firearms industry. Meet best-selling authors like the co-author of American Sniper. And don't miss the VIP party that benefits the PTSD Foundation. Find out more at TriggrCon.com. That's TriggrCon.com. You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and this portion of the show is brought to you by the American Shooting Journal. It is the monthly magazine covering firearms and the shooting sports throughout North America. Look for it at a newsstand near you. Speaking of the shooting sports and firearms, we've got a must-see exhibit and event coming up in Tacoma, Washington, specifically at the Tacoma Convention Center, July 27th through the 30th. It's TriggrCon. With us here to tell you more about it is Ari Bartolome with Rainier Arms. Ari, welcome to the show.
Hey, John. How's it going?
It's going great, Ari. You know, we talked about a year ago about this event, and it sounds like it's really growing. Why don't you tell our listeners who are not aware of what TriggrCon is, exactly what they're going to find at the Tacoma Convention Center?
Thanks for asking, John. This year we're going to have quite a few new manufacturers attending this year for TriggrCon. They will be coming with some new products that really specializes in our space, which is the tactical market. You know, we've always kind of been known for that AR-15 market, but it's kind of grown to encompass a bigger market where people are taking and modifying Glocks, for instance, to make them a little bit more high speed. So.
And Ari, something interesting about this show is that even though it's taking place in the Northwest, this really isn't a Northwest show. It's kind of a national show. You've got manufacturers from all over the country that are coming to TriggrCon, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I would venture to say 80% of our manufacturers that are attending the event are all coming from out of state and in some cases out of the country. We've got attendees coming from Russia and South America, Asia, but this has almost become a global that's kind of occurring. But yeah, we've got most of our manufacturers coming from all parts of the United States, from Washington all the way out to Florida. So it's going to be a special event.
Oh, it sounds like it is. Now, when we talked last year, most of the exhibitors, they had informational booths up, and they would steer you towards a website or somewhere else where you can make purchases. But I understand this year there's going to be a lot more selling going on in the Tacoma Convention Center.
Yeah, that's correct. We got the okay from the show, and quite a few companies have got some wares that they will be selling at the show, and we've got a new emphasis for a pro shop that we created for the show specifically, where it's going to house some of the specials that some of the manufacturers coming out will be bringing, because what we challenge them is to bring some show specials for our consumers that will be attending the show. So, yeah, a lot of sales will be going on there.
You're listening to America Outdoors Radio. We are talking to Ari Bartolome about TriggrCon. It's coming up July 27th through the 30th at the Tacoma Convention Center in Washington State. One other thing we need to talk about here, you're bringing a number of authors from the Patriot Authors Network. Tell our listeners more about this.
Yeah, we've got a set of about 10 authors that specialize in this Patriot Authors Network. Everyone from co-writer for American Sniper, Scott McEwen, and Robert Vera, as well as Josh Matz, and Kevin Briggs, which is the police officer who watches the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. So I got a chance to sit down and speak with some of these guys, and they've got some incredible stories. So really, really good treat.
That officer that watches the Golden Gate Bridge, whenever I think of the Golden Gate Bridge, whenever I think of police officers, I always think about the suicide problem they have, and I'm guessing that's one of the things he covers in his book is probably the saves, and unfortunately some of those he wasn't able to save there.
Absolutely, yeah. He's got an incredible, if you've ever heard his TED Talk, he got like 2.5 million views. But yeah, it was a very, very interesting story. This is essentially the first responder gets on the scene when they hear that there's a suicide jumper on the bridge. So he's got the task of trying to talk them off the ledge, literally. So he's been doing it for a number of years, and he's got some incredible stories.
So these authors from the Patriot Authors Network, are they going to be in one big booth and signing some of their books and selling them there, or is it going to be more than that?
Yeah, we're going to have them speaking literally almost every hour during our event. They're going to be on the fourth floor of the TriggrCon, where we're going to be hosting the TriggrCon. But on top of that, we're also going to have a hike scheduled right after the event, where we're going to be pushing off a spot for somebody to actually attend or to hike with these authors up Mount Rainier the day following the event.
Awesome. And last but not least, you actually have a VIP party. The public is invited as long as they pay the price of admission, and the proceeds are going to a very special cause. Tell our listeners a little bit more about this party for a very good cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Every year we always try to host a VIP party, and this year the benefit that we chose to partner with is the PTSD Foundation. Obviously, everybody knows about the issues that a lot of soldiers endure after they come back from war or from service, and it also occurs from a first responder level. So, this organization works with them that either are experiencing post-traumatic stress, and there's another program which they put them through called the Boulder Crest, where they're taking these soldiers and these first responders out on guided trips to help kind of get them back to center.
All right. Well, sounds fantastic. We have got to go. But, folks, if you want to find out more about TriggrCon taking place July 27th through the 30th at the Convention Center in Tacoma, Washington, here's the website. It's really simple, TriggrCon.com. That's TriggrCon.com. Check it out, buy some tickets, make plans to attend, and make plans to attend that VIP party too. Looks like it's going to be both a fun and educational time. Ari, thanks for sharing this with us on America Outdoors Radio.
Hey, thanks for having us, Sean.
Next, we've got a story of hope for any of you who has lost a dog and has hoped against hope that you'll be able to find it again. From Field and Stream and the Idaho Statesman, we share the story of Mo, a 12-year-old Chesapeake Bay Retriever. Mo went hunting with her owners, Darwin and Cindy Cameron, last September in some remote country north of Boise when she went missing. The Camerons spent 3 months looking for their dog until the winter snows came in earnest, and the couple, frankly, gave up hope. Mo, however, did not. This tough old dog showed up on a ranch near the tiny community of Horseshoe Bend in late June, extremely skinny and covered with ticks. Sherry Glankler, who lives around there, decided to get involved, posting about the animal on Facebook. Eventually, the Camerons heard about the post, drove to Horseshoe Bend, and Mo immediately recognized her owners and was reunited with them. Mo's on the bend back home now, and in the words of my outdoors writer friend Chris Milgate, who shared this article with me, If only dogs could talk. I agree. I'd love to hear the tale this old pup has to tell. And wrapping things up for this segment, you may recall a few weeks ago we told you about the Van Wiermer Resort 2017 Dorado Shoot Out that was taking place on the East Cape of Baja, Mexico. Well, it's over, and according to the folks at the resort, a record 141 teams participated in the shootout this year. The first fish weighed on Saturday of the tournament was on the El Tío. It was a 30-pound Dorado. Then came a 52.5-pounder on the Amante. Based on the last week of fishing and the last 3 years of this tournament, everyone thought that was going to be the winner. But it wasn't. As a matter of fact, that weight only held up for about 39 minutes. That's when Team El Regalo showed up with a monster 57.3-pound bull Dorado. Everyone at the resort was blown away and definitely thought, this is it. It's over. But not so fast. 30 minutes later, Team Don Julio weighed in with the biggest Dorado in the last 10 years of this tournament with the winning fish that came in at 61.4 pounds. Joe Feeney was the angler on this team who reeled in this beast, and he took all 4 jackpots worth over $126,000 along with a brand new 2017 Volkswagen, which was generously given to the captain, Lucio Vargas. If you want to join in the fun this year, it's not too late. The first annual Wahoo Gold Cup will be taking place August 26th. If you want to find out more about that one, go to vanwiermerresorts.com. That's vanwiermerresorts.com.
Whether commercial or recreational, Barrett Marine Company has an aluminum vessel to meet your needs. From the Kraken series of unsinkable aluminum tenders to our wide-beam 2385 Ocean Pilot House with commercial strength, all aluminum construction and seating for 6 adults, or the 32-foot Ocean SF, perfectly balancing heavy-use commercial quality and low-maintenance comfort to extend your time on the water, think Barrett Marine Company. Find us on Facebook at Barrett Marine Co. That's Barrett with 2 T's, Marine Co.
The Caddis Game Changer breathable waders are going to change the way you fish. You've always counted on Caddis waders to keep you warm and dry through the years, and Caddis never lets you down. Now comes the Game Changer. It's the same tough durability and the addition of a zippered hard pouch pocket that opens up to become a work shelf. Now you can change accessories on the water for maximum flexibility. Look for Caddis Game Changer breathable waders wherever quality fishing products are sold or online at caddiswaders.com.
Master Marine in Mount Vernon, Washington specializes in fishing and fun. We offer 7 brands of boats, including Osprey, Sea Sport, Sea Dory, Tomcat, Lund, Weldcraft, and Thunderjet. We also offer Suzuki, Yamaha, and Mercury motors. In other words, no matter what you're fishing for, we've got the boat for you. Drop by Master Marine at 330 East Blackburn Road in Mount Vernon to see what's on the lot, or go online to mastermarine.com. That's mastermarine.com.
DEZ Tactical match-grade AR rifles are precision-built to provide guaranteed sub-MOA accuracy. Here at DEZ, we believe in guarantees backed by data. That's why every rifle we build is live-fire tested for accuracy and sent with original test target. Add in our manufacturer's lifetime warranty and you can count on your DEZ rifle for a lifetime of performance. See a full list of our rifles, parts, and accessories at DEZtactical.com. DEZ Tactical, upping the expectations of what an AR rifle should be.
TriggrCon is the annual trade show just for the small arms tactical market. It's coming to the Convention Center in Tacoma, Washington from July 29th through the 30th. It's going to showcase the newest, the most innovative, and the best products in the tactical firearms industry. Meet best-selling authors like the co-author of American Sniper. And don't miss the VIP party that benefits the PTSD Foundation. Find out more at TriggerCon.com. That's TriggerCon.com.
Luth AR is the home of the modular buttstock assembly, or MBA for short. Not only do we make modular buttstocks for your AR-15 rifle, we'll help you choose the MBA that's right for you. We also offer parts and accessories to customize your AR. If you're looking for a quality MBA that weighs less and costs less, The Luth AR MBA is for you. Find out more at luth-ar.com. That's luth-ar.com.
Backcountry hunters and anglers, the men and women working hard to keep public lands in public hands. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Media Index Publishing. They publish 4 different magazines covering the firearms and outdoor scene. They are the publishers of the American Shooting Journal, the Alaska Sportsman's Journal, California Sportsman, and Northwest Sportsman Magazine. Look for these great publications at a newsstand near you. We start off with an update about that National Monument Review ordered by President Donald Trump. It looks like in this political theater that's akin to a reality TV show that at least 3 of the national monuments are safe. Those are the Missouri River Breaks, the Hanford Reach, and Craters of the Moon. From the Washington Post, we learned that Ryan Zinke, the head of the Department of Interior, announced that the nearly 200,000-acre Hanford Reach National Monument in south-central Washington and the 460,000-acre Craters of the Moon National Monument in southern Idaho are no longer under review as part of President Trump's April order. Zinke said Thursday that he was recommending no changes for the 2 Washington and Idaho monuments, though the final decision is the president's to make. Zinke said he called on his training as a geologist, saying, "I realize Craters of the Moon is a living timeline of geological history." He continued, stating about the Hanford Reach that sportsmen and women from all over the country go to Hanford Reach for some of the best fishing and bird hunting around. As for the Missouri River Breaks in central Montana, Secretary Zinke at the Western Governors Association annual meeting said that this one is also off the table in terms of any changes. Speaking with reporter Angela Marshall with ABC Fox News in Montana, Zinke said, "In the case of the Upper Missouri River Breaks, I think that it's settled, so we're not going to do a further review." Now, these 3 national monuments appear to be safe. However, there's still well over 20 other monuments under review, and their borders may be changed or their designation may be changed too, meaning these public lands are still in some jeopardy. Speaking of public lands in peril, we now have a great conversation for you from a couple of true adventurers who spent a full year living in one of our country's wilderness areas. Next on America Outdoors Radio, we are talking to a couple of true adventurers that hail from Minnesota. Their names, Dave and Amy Freeman. They're the author of a new book, A Year in the Wilderness, 4 Seasons in the Boundary Waters. And I've got to tell you what, their adventures have taken them over 30,000 miles by canoe, kayak, and even dog sled. They've traveled and traversed the Great Lakes, the Amazon, the Arctic, and more. As a matter of fact, National Geographic named the couple their Adventurers of the Year in 2014, and we're lucky enough to have them with us today. Amy, Dave, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
So, Amy, let's start things off. Why don't you tell our listeners about the Boundary Waters Canoe Wilderness Area in northern Minnesota? Exactly what is this place?
Yeah, well, the Boundary Waters is a wilderness area that's just south of the Canadian border in Minnesota. It's 1.1 million acres. And when I say wilderness area, that's wilderness with a capital W. So there are no roads in it. And it's a maze of lakes, rivers, and streams. It's a truly wild place.
I know it's full of wildlife. It's an incredibly scenic area. Lots of folks go up there with their canoes, but folks, don't think you just get to paddle. There's something called portaging you have to do as well if you're going to be up there. You're going to have to take your canoe overland in some places. So, Dave, why don't you tell our listeners why you and Amy decided to spend a full 365 days straight in this wilderness area?
Well, we decided to spend a full year in the wilderness because, you know, our jobs and our way of life are really tied to this place. We guide dog sledding trips there in the winter and canoeing trips all summer long, and a series of sulfide ore copper mines, pollution, from those mines, water pollution could flow directly into the wilderness area. And this wilderness is just this maze of lakes and rivers. We visited over 500 lakes, rivers, and streams in our year in the wilderness, and there were still over 300 bodies of water in the wilderness that we didn't have the time or energy to visit. So it's just a maze of lakes and rivers, amazing fishing, amazing canoeing opportunities. And so we're worried that these mines really damage the wilderness. And so we wanted to try and protect the wilderness. And the way we felt we could help was by spending a full year out there, raising awareness about the threats of these mines, and drawing attention to them and encouraging people to sign petitions at SaveTheBoundaryWaters.org and learn more about the issue and just sort of contact their elected officials to help protect the place.
Dave, that is great stuff. Glad that you wrote your book and did this to bring awareness. Amy, we're going to turn to you, and I've got to ask you, I mean, you were there an entire year in the wilderness. What was the coolest thing you saw or experienced during this journey?
Well, I think the coolest thing actually happened in the shoulder seasons, so in the spring and in the fall, because, you know, we spend our time out there paddling canoes in the summer and traveling on the frozen lakes by dog team in the winter. And it was really cool for us to be out there to see what it was like as the lakes were freezing. It was a time when, you know, no one else was out there. We kind of had the place to ourselves, and we just watched birds migrate south and eventually, you know, kind of saw and heard the last loons, and then the lake started to freeze. And it was a really, really neat time for us to see what that was like.
Wow. All right, back to you, Dave. When is this book, A Year in the Wilderness, coming out? And more importantly, where can folks get a copy to find out about the experience you and Amy had spending a year in this wilderness area?
Well, the book is coming out in September to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of when we exited the wilderness after a year. And, you know, it will be available at all major book retailers. You can also order it online. If you go to milkweed.org/Freeman, you'll be able to pre-order the book or order the book once it comes out. And, yeah, it's going to be a beautiful book, 300 pages, lots of full-color photos. It's going to be a great book that we hope everyone will check out.
Well, I know I plan on picking up a copy. Again, folks, the book is A Year in the Wilderness, 4 Seasons in the Boundary Waters. The authors are Dave and Amy Freeman. That's the couple that lived an entire year in this wilderness area and is going to share that experience on the pages of this book with you. Look for it through Milkweed Press. Look for it at a bookstore near you in September. Definitely going to be a great read, and it'll probably make a great Christmas present, too. Dave, Amy, thanks for telling us about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Oh, thank you.
We're running short on time, but don't forget that giveaway we're doing this week, courtesy of the Yakima Bait Company in Prosser, Washington. They are giving away half a dozen rooster tail spinners for trout, 3 mag lip plugs that'll work great for salmon, steelhead, and big trout, and a snazzy hat, too. If you want it, and one lucky listener is going to get it, go to our Facebook page at America Outdoors Radio. Just like the page, look for our posts, and let us know what state you're tuning in from. You can do the same thing by going to our website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. Go to the Contact Us page. Let us know that you want the Yakima Bait Company tackle. And again, just let us know what state you're tuning in from. One lucky listener's going to win it all. While you're on the web, you can hear our show on WRVO Radio. That's an internet station dedicated to outdoors programming. You'll find that one at RenoViolaOutdoors.com. We've got to go, but I do hope you're blessed in the week ahead. Summer is in full swing, and the mountains, lakes, rivers, and ocean are calling. So get out there and enjoy them. Remember, it's your country and your outdoors.
Are you ready for your best of the West affordable summer vacation? Hello, I'm Mark Hemstreet, owner of Shiloh Inns. Many of the big hotel chains will have hidden extra fees for things like parking, internet, so-called resort fees, and lots more. The list is as long as it is sneaky. But at Shiloh Inns and Suites Hotels, there are no hidden fees. Shiloh amenities are all free, like Shiloh's spacious pools and spas, steam and sauna rooms, fully equipped fitness centers, and even the kids stay free. And don't forget that Shiloh Inns also provide a free continental or full hot delicious breakfast at most Shiloh Inns. Now that's affordable excellence. For reservations, call 1-800-222-2244 or visit our website at shilohinns.com. Smoke-free and dog-friendly Shiloh Inns, American family-owned and proud of it.
Wetlands are some of the most important ecosystems on Earth, but our wetlands are quickly disappearing. Find out how you can help. Join Ducks Unlimited today.